Hey, B-sox.
Hey, Alice, how you doing tonight?
I am doing great. Where are you now?
I am actually in, just north of Des Moines, Iowa.
Ah, okay. So are you frozen over?
You know what? We thawed this week. We actually did.
Well, it's great. I'm in Arizona where it's 87 today.
And I bet you went golfing, didn't you?
Well, yeah, like every day. I play 6 days a week.
One of my my dad was at a golf course when you came by through Iowa at one point. He always thought that was really cool.
Oh, yeah, we play every day. When we're on the road, my guitar player and my bass player all play golf. So we play at least 9 holes every day of a show, and then 18 holes on days off.
That's awesome. Alice, do you want to jump into this, or are we just kind of going?
Sure, let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
I mean, we could spend the whole time talking about golf if you really want to.
No, it's okay.
Alice, thanks for joining us. You're our night guy here on 95 KGGO. We appreciate that, and we all enjoy the show. But you have new music out, Detroit Stories.
Yes, Detroit Stories, sort of we wanted to do a very hard rock album, and the only place to do that would be Detroit, because that's the home of hard rock in America. I mean, when you go there, when we went there, moved there in the 70s, it was us, Iggy and the Stooges, the MC5, Susie Quattro, Ted Nugent,
Yeah.
Bob Seger. Every band was a sort of in-your-face rock and roll band, and that's exactly where we belonged. We just didn't fit in L.A. We didn't fit in San Francisco. We didn't fit in New York. Detroit was the only place where we really felt comfortable.
I really like the videos you guys put out that talked about some of the stories behind this, and talking about that and the kind of the camaraderie that was with all these different bands when you guys were coming.
They were all, but back then we were all local bands. We were just bands trying to make it, and we were supporting giant bands like it would be us and the Stooges and the Who, but the Who, but the places were 1,100 seats. It was like the Grandy Ballroom or the East Town. But every weekend we'd be playing with the Kinks or we'd be playing with somebody like that. But we'd be playing with all these different bands, local bands that had not made it yet. So we were all buddies. I mean, everybody. There was a party after every show. And it was either at the Stooges' house or our house or, Seeger's house or somebody.
I know that you and Gene Simmons have had differing opinions on where rock is nowadays, but do you think there's a little bit of that with the camaraderie stuff, that maybe there's not that out there, or are we missing it and it is there now?
I think it's there. I think what's going to happen is you're going to see a total resurgence of hard rock. There's going to be a very young bunch of kids out there that are going to show up, and they're going to be snotty, and they're going to be arrogant, and just what rock should be when you saw the Stones the first time or you saw any of those bands. Because every generation rebels against the last generation, and the last generation was very high-tech, techno this and techno that. And so I think that why are teenagers buying records? They're buying vinyl.
Yeah.
And they're buying turntables. I think that's right there an indication that there's kids right now in garages all over the world learning Aerosmith and Ozzy and Alice, and they're learning those songs because rock and roll is just too much fun to let die.
Yeah.
I think what Gene was talking about was financially, rock and roll's not what it used to be. Well, yeah, I agree with that, but maybe rock and roll now is where it should be. Outlaws looking in rather than being the apex of the pyramid. Now we're kind of the outcasts, and I think rock and roll kind of lives on that.
It is kind of having a lovable Metallica. It just doesn't have the same ring as, evil Alice Cooper,
Well, yeah, and I think that there's bands out there now that are just kind of getting used to the idea of guitars. Man, let's turn these things up. Let's be loud. Let's play music that's going to irritate people.
All right, let me ask you this, Alice. If you were going to tell, these young people that you bring up, if you're going to tell them to learn one Alice Cooper song, which one would it be?
Oh boy, of course the apex of that is School's Out or 18 or something like. I would say, really, honestly, I would tell them, first of all, learn every Chuck Berry song you can find, because every great rock band started with Chuck Berry. I mean, Rolling Stones, Beatles, everybody you can think of started with learning Chuck Berry. We did, and I guarantee you Aerosmith did, and Guns N' Roses, because that's the whole basis of rock and roll, and then take it from there. I meet young bands, and they play me their stuff, and I go, okay, I get it, you're angry. Okay, because that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I said, but I'm going to tell you to do something that you're not going to do. And they go, what? I said, I want you to sit down for a week and listen to nothing but Meet the Beatles and All Summer Long by the Beach Boys. And they go, why? And I go, because those are perfect songs. I said, now, once you listen to how a song is constructed, a verse, a B section, a bridge, a chorus that pays off, then write me a really angry song. But make it so I could sit down at the piano and play it and sing it. Don't just yell at me, because that's not a song. If you want to really last, you have to write great songs. All the bands that wrote great songs are still here. All the bands that wrote crappy songs are not here.
You actually, I mean, you hit it on the head, because I can think of a lot of shows of, coming up in Iowa and, just living here for a while. Everybody tried to be like Slipknot for a long time. So everybody would come out and just scream at you for 45 minutes. And after about 3 songs, it's like, okay, do something else.
Yeah, exactly. It's a one-trick pony, And so, if you want to stick around, quality is always going to keep you in the game. Like the Alice Cooper show was icing on the cake. I mean, the show was really exciting, and of course it was, with shock and this and that, and it was really well. But without the music, without 18 and Poison and School's Out and all those songs, if we didn't have those songs to put the icing on, we would just be a puppet show up there. Any band that sticks around are bands that get played on the radio and write great songs. And you don't have to fold and say, I'm chasing the charts. No, you just write great songs the way you want to write them.
Absolutely. Alice Cooper joining me on the line right now. I know you got a busy night ahead of you. I do have one kind of personal thing, a story to tell you real quick if you have time, Alice.
Sure.
So my son, who's actually turning 6 tomorrow, we have a cutout of you in the studio, right?
Yeah.
And long story short, he was probably about 2 or 3 or so, came running into the studio, didn't know you were going to be in there in cutout form, right? He stops, points, and goes, zombie. So in our house, whenever he sees you, he goes, zombie.
Well, you got to show him a picture of Rob Zombie then.
I know, right? No, it's just funny.
Well, you know what, kids?
Go ahead.
I have 3 grandsons that are 6 years old. I have 2 that are 6 and 1 that's 2. And they love watching Alice Cooper videos because they understand that Pop, me, plays Alice Cooper. I play the character Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
But I'm not that character when I'm not on stage. So, it's so funny to watch them play out and then them do their versions of it because they all imitate it,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
it's funny to watch it from afar,
Well, what's funny is I said to him one time, I go, Alice Cooper, zombie, he plays golf. Really? Because my son plays golf. He can actually hit the ball pretty well. But yeah, no, that's who you are in our house. So that's high honor.
Well,
here.
tell him that the zombie tells him to keep his head down and stay behind the ball.
Awesome. I will tell him that. Alice Cooper, thank you so much for the time. Good luck with the album. We've got all the links at the website. You take care, okay?
Hey, thanks a lot. And take care of your boy.
All right. Thanks, Alice. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.